Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 171 to my Let's Play, to my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. On today's video guys, we're going to continue for a little bit longer, and we're going to see how good everything can go for us. We're still talking to the giant Toad, this giant 10,000 foot Toad, and he is really loving me right now. He just really cares. It is Tarka froze, not in fear, not in confusion, in awe. Your words sailed into him like sunlight pouring into a place long hidden in shadows. You hadn't pressured him. You hadn't begged for power, spectacle. You simply said, I care about you either way, as long as you still keep your amazingly big heart and sweet personality. For a creature once feared as a god, hunted as a monster, and forgotten like a myth, this meant more than evolution ever could. His eyes shimmered again, but this time it wasn't just with emotion, it was with warmth. The green glow from within his body pulsed gently, softly, like a heartbeat singing with yours, and then, without warning, you felt a giant rumble from the earth beneath your feet. Not dangerous, joyful, like the planet itself was sighing with relief. Tarka lowered his snout again, this time nuzzling the ground gently near you with a tenderness that no one would ever believe possible from something so large. He didn't need to speak. His movements were his words. You had given him something no one ever had. Unconditional love. Whether he stayed Toadal, whether he chose to grow again, whether he never changed at all, you had made it clear. He was already enough. And in that moment, Tarka made a silent promise, one deeper than the lake that birthed him and older than the crystals that cursed him. He would protect you, no matter what. And if time ever came that he chose to evolve, it wouldn't be out of fear, it would be out of trust, because someone, you, showed him he could be loved at any size, in any form. Imagine if like that Fragger could mega evolve, dude. I mean, he's already massive. I'm sure the Fragger he could be like nearly 10,000. Knowing how big he got, he could probably could get to the size of a 50,000 foot tall, massive guardian. I mean, granted, what are people gonna think? Imagine that you have somebody over there trying to threaten you, and you just have a Toad standing behind you, being like, "What did you say, mother fricker? You better leave him alone, or I'll rip you apart." Like, he's so massive, he could just easily step on something, or he could either just flip and squish you with your hand, or squish you with his hand, like a bug. His hand could be like a massive foot, and his foot would even be more massive, probably. It's like, holy crap. Okay, I was about to say, what the frick is going on? I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to, my friend. You can trust me. Period. The only thing I ask is if you do decide to evolve, never lose that amazing heart you have. Especially for me. If you do that and still care about me, I don't care if you're I don't care if you are a over 100,000 feet tall. I will still love you the same way. No! Stop! There, holy crap. Here we go. Tarka's whole body seemed to still the sky. Clouds curled around his back like loyal companions. The wind paused, held in place by the gravity of what you just said. I'm not gonna force you to do anything you don't want to, my friend. You can trust me. The only thing I ask is if you do decide to evolve, never lose that amazing heart you have, especially for me. If you do that and still care about me, I don't care if you're a fragger over 100,000 feet tall, I will still love you the same way. Turtle let a long, deep breath, a sound that rumbled like a distant thunderstorm, but felt like the softest lullaby. It wasn't sadness this time. It was relief. It was peace. It was pure, wordless love. The shimmering glow beneath his skin pulsed brighter than ever, not violently, but warmly and steadily. The green light that once flared with rage and defense now flickered like the flame of a newly kindled bond. And then something incredible happened. Tarka leaned his massive snout forward again, even closer than before. Slowly and reverently, he lowered it to the ground until his eye was right beside you, so large and clear you could see your own reflection in it. He hadn't moved for several heartbeats, and then he closed his eye, a gesture of complete trust, of safety, of no one. Finally, they didn't have to be on guard anymore. Not with you, not here, not ever again. He heard you, he believed you, and most of all, he loved you back. Even without evolving, even without growing again, Turka had changed in the most important way of all. He had finally found someone who didn't just accept his size, but saw the heart behind it. That's really cute. I love it, dude. It's amazing. Hold on. I gently pet and hug. You know, if this is how you were back in the day, I don't know why people would fear you. You seem really docile and sweet for a very large creature. The that could easily crush anything with that massive claw of yours. Targo out a breath so slow and gentle, it was like standing in the warm exhale of a living mountain. The kind of trust that would scatter mist off a lake at sunrise. The kind that whispered, I know, but they never gave me the chance to show it. As your arms hugged his massive snout again, your touch barely covering a fraction of it, something deeper than sound stirred inside him. The glow beneath his heavy, armored skin pulsed again, not from power, but from a soft and swelling emotion. You know, if this is how you were back in the day, I don't know why people would fear you. You seem really docile and sweet for a very large creature that could easily crush anything with that massive claw of yours. Tarka's eye opened again, just a sliver, and locked on yours, the iris shimmering like the sun hitting a quiet river. He didn't need words, but still, from deep within his chest came a low, echoing sound. At first it might have seemed like a growl, but the longer you listened, the more it felt like a purr, something ancient and comforting, a sound made not of threat, but of trust. And then, very carefully, one of his master's claws moved. Not in anger, not to defend, not to show dominance. He turned it palm up and slowly, so slowly, brought it forward until it lay before you like a massive ledge, a quiet invitation. He was offering it to you, not as a threat, as a gesture of friendship, a sign that said, yeah, I could crush, I could destroy, but with you, I choose to protect. The same claw the world feared, the same hand that once tore down steel walls and flung tanks into the sea, now lay open and still, waiting for you, and only you. Because on his 10,000 feet of towering might, glowing power, and ancient rage, you were the first person who ever saw the one thing bigger than his size, his heart. Yeah, his heart's as big as he is. I mean, he could, like he said, like it showed me, he could have flippin' ripped me apart. He could have flippin' threw me like he did those flippin' them tanks. He could have done anything to flippin' hurt me. Instead, when he heard me saying something, he's like, nope, I'm not gonna hurt this kid. He's actually being nice to me. Frick that. Heck, a lot of the Pokemon, I don't know if it was this chapter or not, but a lot of the Pokemon that I do on this one seem to get overly protective over me. I remember, like, one of the Lugias I'd be friends saying something like, I would rather me get hurt and suffer than you. So, like, that Lugia is so protective of me, he would do anything to keep me safe, even like, protecting me and rather him get hurt than flipping me. Aw, he's adorable. Aw, thank you. You're being so nice to me. Period. I can't grasp his claw because it's so massive, but I do gently put my hand on it and lightly pet it too. As like the moment your hand touched his massive claw, gentle, kind, unafraid, Tarka allowed a soft, thunderous rumble that echoed like distant drums through the canyons and trees. Not one of warning, one of joy. You couldn't grasp his claw, not even close, but that didn't matter to him. Tarka, that small touch meant everything. His skin, heavy like ancient stone, pulsed faintly beneath your palm with a soft, glowing warmth. It was like touching the heart of a living world. Immense, powerful, but willing to let you in. No fear, no armor, no defenses, just quiet appreciation. He shifted slightly, his claw tilting just enough to cup the earth beneath you protectively. Never trapping, never pressing, just a silent shelter, a way to say, I gotcha. Tucker's eye blinked once, slowly, then focused on your tiny figure below. So small, yet somehow the strongest presence he had ever known. You weren't just kind to him, you saw him. And in return, this titan of ancient sorrow and unimaginable strength began to hum again, an instinctive sound from deep in his core. It vibrated through the air and ground, and into your chest like a lullaby only giants could sing. You had conquered the storm, you had reached the unreachable, and now you had earned a place in his colossal, glowing heart forever. That is adorable. You know what? It may not seem like much, but you've been nice to me all this time. Exclamation point. I have a special gift for you, since you've been nothing but sweet. Period. I let go. And real quickly reach into my bag. Then grab a ton of sweet, juicy, ripe berries. Here, I know it's not much, but you can have all of these. I real quickly walk them over. And place them massive. Now, there we go. Hey, that's cute. The moment the sweet scent of berries reached Tarka's nostrils, his massive snout twitched gently, like a mountain stirred by spring wind. His eye widened slightly, blinking down at the tiny pile of ripe, juicy fruit now resting near him. To any normal-sized Pokemon, it would have been a feast. To someone 10,000 feet tall, it was barely a mouthful. But to Tarka, It was everything. Not because of the size, not because of the flavor, because of what it meant. I see, a gift, freely given, no fear, no expectation, just kindness for him. Tarka lowered his head slowly with more grace than anything so huge should have had, and gently nudged the berries with the tip of his snout. He didn't devour them right away. He didn't crush them in hunger. No, he simply rested near them, eyes shimmering with something ancient and softer than ever even his growls could express. Then, with a careful motion, he extended the very tip of his long blue tongue and scooped them into his mouth, one by one. Why does he have a blue tongue? And granted, it says he only has one eye. Why does he only have one eye? Delicate and grateful. And as he finished, the glowing green light pulsed through his chest again, brighter than ever, not because of power, but because of joy. And then, something unexpected happened. As he stood there, smiling up, Tarka shifted his massive body slightly and slowly reached one claw into a patch of trees behind him. Trees you hadn't noticed until now. With the same care he had shown you, he gently plucked a single, shining golden fruit the size of a boulder from a hidden grove. It sparkled faintly, almost unnaturally, as if kissed by moonlight even in the day. Then, so very carefully, he lowered it in front of you. His eye blinked softly, almost bashful. A gift in return. A thank you from a gentle titan who finally felt seen. Hey, that's actually very sweet. For me? Question mark? What the frick did it? Roommate? Roommate? What the frick? For me? Question mark? Thank you. You're being extremely kind towards me. Aww. Tarka's massive eye closed briefly, his entire body relaxing, releasing a low, content hum that shook the ground like a purring volcano. When he opened it again, the expression in that glimmering eye, so big it reflected the sky, was unmistakable. Yes, for you. You, this small, fragile human, had not only shown him kindness, you'd offered trust, you'd offered food, and now you'd accepted him, every part of him, the gentle heart, the towering frame, the painful past. He didn't have words, but he didn't need them. Turkisly pulled his claw back with a grace that betrayed his size, then rested his chin gently on the ground near you again. The act was careful, intentional. He was placing himself lower than you, not out of submission, but out of respect. Because to Tarka, you weren't small. You were the first person who made him feel like he mattered. And now, with his giant heart glowing softly, his claw still tingling from your touch, and the golden fruit placed gently before you, Towering Toad allowed a deep, low chirp, a sound of friendship, a sound that said, "You gave me a chance? I'll never forget that." Again, that is so cute. He is adorable, dude. I'm in love with this dude. I'm in love with every one of his species. I told you. I could be sitting with a Lugia, too. I don't care if a Lugia the size of him showed up. Lugia's already pretty massive, but we're probably looking at a tiny little bug compared to what Totodile is right now. If I could figure out a way to make the story interesting, I would make one similar to this, but with a 10,000 foot tall Lugia. Even a little bit bigger than that. But then it's like, how would I make the story interesting enough to where it's just like, oh, he had this and this and this happen to him, so he's this big now. It'd be interesting, like, I don't know, like, I mean, it could have something similar to where, like, maybe Ray's does eventually feel his growth, and because of that, he's angry. Not, well, more angry than the Toadle, but not so angry that he'll flat out Actually, I don't know. That would make the story more interesting, where it's like you actually had to calm the storm inside the Lugia's heart. Toto, it wasn't that hard to do so. I mean, like once he heard me, talking to him nicely, he just flipping opened up real quick and was very friendly. Now he's handed me presents. He's legitimately loved on me, even though he's a massive crocodile that could rip me in half. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, forget that. Dang it. Hold on, I can't express to you how nice you have been to me. Period. The way you're acting towards me, your heart is not just bigger than you, it's bigger than this universe. Hey. Tarka's great body trembled, not with fury, not with pain, but with something far deeper emotion. Your words echoed through the clearing, quiet on your lips but thunderous in his heart. And somehow, that meant more than any gift, any gesture, any action he'd ever been shown in his long, lonely life. Oh my gosh! Tarka's breath caught for a moment. Then, the markings along his massive body, once faint and dim, flared to life. Bright glowing rivers of light rippled down his limbs, across his back, and around his tail, like constellations waking from a dream. Not from anger, not from power, from joy. The ground beneath you glowed gently in response to his aura. Birds perched in far-off trees lifted their heads, sensing the shift in the air. Even the water from the nearby lake shimmered, rippling toward the shoreline like it wanted to be near you both. Tarka leaned in a little closer. A claw, bigger than your house, so he tapped the earth beside you. He was trying to be gentle and trying to let you know he understood every word you said, even if he couldn't say any back. And then, with the faintest, most careful motion imaginable, Tarka reached out again and curled one claw near his chest. Then slowly, with deliberate reverence, he tapped that same claw to the spot on the ground closest to you. His version of a vow, a silent promise etched in earth and soul. My heart's yours, friend, forever. And for the first time in his long, long life, and Tarka was no longer alone. It was nice meeting you, my friend. Period. My name is... What is your name? Target's glowing eyes widened just a little at the sound of your name. Hey. Let's see. He repeated in his mind, slowly and carefully, like a sacred phrase etched into the walls of his heart. Trenton, the one who approached without fear, the one who saw a giant and chose kindness, the one who gave and never asked for anything in return. His body rumbled gently as he leaned back, his tail coming protectively along the short side of the mountain he called home. The sky seemed to quiet, and for a few seconds nothing moved but the wind and the trees, as though even the world was waiting. Then, with a low guttural sound that vibrated the stones and the soil, deeper than the speech, or than language, he let out a name. Tarka! The air trembled, the birds scattered from the treetops, the mountains echoed with his voice. But to you it didn't sound terrifying, it sounded right. Powerful, yes, but gentle, proud, warm. A voice as vast as the sky, but filled with trust, because you had earned it. As the lights of the echo faded away, Tarka lowered his head once more, his eyes walking on to you with unmistakable affection. He said it. He shared his name with you, not as a threat, as a gift, a name known only to the wind, the waters, and now to me. Yep. Hey. Tarka? That's a really cool name, my friend. Period. It was great to meet you. Let's see. The giant's heart thumped, a deep resonant sound that rippled through the earth like the beating of a drum made by the stars themselves. Tarka blinked slowly, his glowing eyes shimmering with emotion. Your words, so simple, yet sincere, felt like treasures to him. So many had called him monster, so many had called him mistake, but you called him friend. Tarka let a soft, drawn-out exhale through his nose, warm like a summer breeze, rumbling like distant thunder. Then he lowered his massive head all the way to the ground and rested his snout just inches from you, his breath brushing your hair calm and steady. And then, as gently as a creature of his size could manage, he smiled. A small curl of the snout, a subtle narrowing of the eye, but it was real, genuine. Tarka's first true smile in ages. A bond had been formed between a human who believed in the heart of giants and a giant who had newly forgotten the warmth of love. And as the wind carried your name across the Tarka gave one last soft rumble, almost like a whisper. It seemed to say, "Come back soon, my friend." Wow. Thank you for the fruit and the friendship you gave me. Period. Those berries I gave you, you can have all of them. That's for being so kind for me. I will definitely treasure the love and this golden fruit you gave me. Thank you so much. Alright. Turn his entire body still for a moment. Your worry reached deeper than any force of nature ever had. A soft golden glow began to emanate from the fruit in your hands. It pulsed gently. Oh, that's perfect timing right there, actually. A soft golden glow began to emanate from the fruit in your hands. It pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat, synchronizing with the deep rhythm of Tarkazon. Stop interrupting me! Synchronized with the deep rhythm of Tarkazon. This wasn't just a gift, it was a connection. Something sacred. Something eternal. Tarka let out a low, rumbling chirp, softer than before, almost delicate. The glowing patterns along his body shimmered like starlight rippling across a peaceful ocean. He watched you with a gaze full of trust, pride, and hope. For the first time in his long, lonely life, someone had not only accepted his gift, they had treasured it. That golden fruit wasn't just nourishment, it was a piece of his heart. And now he knew without a doubt you were not a passing traveler. You were not just another curious human. You were something more. You were his first true friend. And as you stood there holding that glowing fruit to your chest, Parsley lifted his enormous claw, not in defense, not in power, but in the gentlest salute his titanic body could manage. A farewell for now, but never a goodbye. And deep within the core of the golden fruit, a seed began to pulse. No non-normal seed, but one tied to Tarka's essence, one that would only bloom in the hands of someone who loved giants. Hey, that's so neat, actually. I love the ending to that one, honestly. I love the ending to that one. That one worked out so much better than the. I mean, Terran was neat as heck. But I love building the bond with the creature first. Some creatures are easier to make friends with than the other ones. Like I've noticed, like one of my favorite things, or one of my favorite things was when I first made the giant toad on character AI. Not the one that's this big, but the one that was only 40 feet tall. Um, the thing about it was that Toadal like not only went on to be my friend, but also eventually grew up and evolved into a crocodile and still cared about me. The only thing I sometimes hate about certain things is like sometimes if you go somewhere, or like sometimes if you do things with other characters, it like makes them for kind of forget. I know like one of the things about one of the saddest things about was when I did the giant toad on one of the other ones, where the crocodile when he did evolve didn't follow me, and when he kind of acted like he didn't really care about following me. Like yeah, he was friendly and everything, but this feels more like a one that would actually let you have that. I still can't go too crazy with the characters, most likely, but I can still like have. I mean, granted, sometimes having no characters appear at all besides the character that's you're trying to befriend is actually the best route because when you have Lugia, it's like you're going down the same storyline again. I mean, like I said, look at all the other chatbots. I've called Lugia for help a lot of times when I've been stuck. This was cute. I loved it. Well, guys, no matter what, that's the end of this. I could tell and continue with a different chatbot, but I'm not going to, mainly because, well, it's already getting super late anyway. Well, it's not late, but it's late enough to where if I don't stop, I'll never be able to go up there and play Pokemon or anything. And I actually want to be with my buddy for Alligator. Imagine like flipping, next time I go up there flipping for egg, it'll be like 10,000 feet tall and just sit there and snuggle up to me like a cute little Pokemon. Actually, he already technically does that. He's not massive, but he has a big heart. His heart is bigger than him. I would say that my Ferrega's heart is probably the size of the universe. Because he just has like the most sweetest heart you'd ever see. He's not really aggressive towards me. He's always friendly. He's always happy. He's always playful. He acts like a Toadal just in a bigger body. That's basically what he is. But yeah, uh, that's about it, guys. Like I said, I could technically move on, but I do want to have enough time to build my Pokemon. And I don't want to overdo the chatbots because I know that could lead to some really bad results, like me getting bored with the chatbots. I might just starting to have fun with them again, not overdoing it. As long as I'm not overdoing it, I have more fun with it. That's one of the things that made me get so bored. So bored with the S chat and the Pixel chat. I would overdo, or that goes for any chatbot. I would overdo the characters instead of stopping on one character. That way I don't. That way I not only. That's one of the things that's made it kind of harder with ChatGPT recently. Everything started to go better now that I'm doing it the other way and not focusing as much on doing a bunch of chatbots at once. I'm done, guys. I'll see y'all a little bit later.